This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 852. I'm Brian Kilby. Chris, thank you for covering for me last week.
It was fun.
It was a great show.
Thank you.
My father-in-law's in the hospital, and I spent a lot of time in the hospital this weekend. And I'm pretty sure I'm paying for it right now because I'm coming down with something right now, right before the show starts. Let's see how I'm feeling by the end. But with that said, Chris is here, of course. Don, Rob, Matt, and I was certain this man wasn't going to be here, but calling in from a castle somewhere in England, like a legit castle, it's Diecast.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to be here either. But
Yeah, that's why you sound like you're in a can, is because you're in a
yeah,
castle.
That's
He
what the
ass-
acoustics in a castle sound like.
yeah, he assures me that he's not a prince. I'm like, dude, you would tell me if you're a prince, right? I'm not. I'm honestly not sure. Like there might be, like he's a trained professional wrestler. Why not a prince? I mean, there are a lot of wrestlers that were princes, right?
Uh,
Prince Iokea, um,
ah.
probably more. So, how are you doing, Diecast? Obviously you're there because of your father's funeral and condolences. But like, have you like hit up any toy shops or anything while you're there?
I don't know of any toy shops in the area,
Prince
but
Devitt, United TF said. Thank you. Sorry.
I actually walked by a shop that it was an art shop, but it had Transformers in the window. So it had like Ultra Magn 86 Ultra Magnus. It had the Evolution Bubblegum uh Mirage, and like it had Studio Series Nightbird. So I walked in and
Interesting.
I'm like, yeah, it's a really odd like uh collection of figures. He only had like five or six. And I talked to the guy, and basically he has a sister in the States who ships Transformers into him. So it's pretty cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, so before we get started with the show, a couple things. One, uh, it's getting to be the middle of October. Holidays are coming here fast. Want to remind everybody that you may see drop boxes soon at local stores, banks, you know, just generally around your town or city, where you have the ability to drop off a toy or toys that can help out a kid in need. So I always use Toys for Tots because it's convenient and it's local to me. But there are other ways of doing this, of giving. And where we're going with that is there are millions of kids across the world who will not get a gift this holiday season or might not get much of anything without the generosity of people like you. So while you're out and about buying toys, especially now, like when there's tons of clearance everywhere, Transformers are showing up at Ross. Target still has a ton of clearance. Walmart, oh my gosh, my Walmart's going through a reset, like a major reset, and there are tons of clearance toys. I've already picked up some. If you see something, pick it up. Just because you may not want that, Wave One Legacy. What came out in Wave One and Legacy? That's still on the shelf forming.
Kickback,
Kick.
skids, RC.
Prime RC.
Oh yeah. Just because you may not want that, a kid would absolutely love it. I have a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old who just love whatever they can get their hands on. The 4-year-old specifically loves Masters of the Universe. But before I had her watch a couple episodes and gave her some of the toys, she had no idea it existed. I mean, that was decades before she was born, but she's fallen in love with it. So help kickstart the interest of toys and action figures potentially, or expand on that love with any kind of toy, but like specifically for us, shelf forming toys. Get them off the shelf, put them in the hands of kids that need them, and make a difference in some child's life and in the life of a collector. the new Generations Legacy series is coming up, so make some room for that. Also, something that we're not donating, we're going to do a giveaway. Matt found. Da-da-da, look at that. Dead end. I was like, is it dead end or sideswipe? I wasn't looking. Dead end.
It's dead end.
Yeah.
G2 Universe G2 Universe Dead End from the Toxitron collection.
Yes.
One of the short packed figures.
Yes. So, if you need a G2 Dead End, we're not going to do like a Twitter giveaway where we ask you to tweet and whatever. We're just going to, just shoot us an email, contact@tfradio.net. Let us know where you're coming from, where you're listening. I'm not going to put you on a list. Not going to share your information. Just curious who's out there and who's willing to, just shoot us a note. We get emails. I don't often read them on the show, but it'd just be interesting to see who's listening. Contact@tfradio.net. Let us know where you're emailing from. Share anything you want to share, but just let us know where you're emailing from. And on the show right before Halloween, we'll give this out. That's not next week, but the week after. So, contact@tfradio.net. Okay. I am feeling really, really run down. I need to fix that with some secret sauce, caffeine. That's Brian's elixir. So with that said, let's jump into the news. Some recap from last week. Things are popping up that we talked about at the very end of the show last week. We saw
we got a lot of official images this week.
Yeah, this came through my email earlier today. I was looking at it. The Walmart CollectorCon, they're going to have Perceptor, Blaster, and Soundwave. Blaster and Soundwave, that was what was new. In fact, I think in the show last week, you guys were speculating what it might be. What might be at the CollectorCon, and what might be an upcoming toy. At the end of the show, voila.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, breaking news. Yeah.
I'm not really loving it. I've got so many blasters and so many sound waves already. I don't really need another one. And it's like that blaster, the last time Walmart had a reissue of it, it sat on the shelf. They ended up clearancing it out for like $8 on Walmart.com.
And occasionally in stores if you were very lucky.
Yeah.
But this one comes with Steeljaw.
Yeah. Soundwave, on the other hand, the reissue went pretty quick. But it looked better. I prefer the toy look, the original toy deco to like whatever this is.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing. Like, if you want like decidedly cartoon-inspired decos for these reissues, they are like sort of novel. Blaster has never been very far off of the cartoon and the toy stayed very close to each other. It was basically just like the color of the eyes, and obviously the face sculpt, but they're not changing that.
Yeah.
Soundwave, like, I like the like blocky, vibrant colors on this reissue. What I don't like is the red visor.
Yeah, it needs to be
Which
yellow.
is strange because Soundwave should have a red visor.
And, and the thing is, like, the Sunbow model of Soundwave in the actual cartoon, the red looks fine on Soundwave. Every time I see the G1 toy and someone has either, customized it to have a red visor, or Hasbro paints it to have a red visor, or Takara on occasion paints it to have a red visor, it just looks like wrong and alien when it's not yellow. It's the weirdest damn thing.
So,
see, I think these both look good, but I'm not in love with the packaging. I feel like it's a really downgrade from the Transformers the movie packaging.
Yeah.
So, like, the color of the chest plate on Soundwave, especially when Laserbeak is sitting in there, just looks weird to me.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Like, it's got a blue tint, and especially when Laserbeak is transformed, he has that open spot, and it just makes it really stick out and look like a decorative choice. Maybe it is a decorative choice, but I just think it looks hideous.
Then don't put Laserbeak in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I will get it.
Honestly, if they were going to go cartoon look with this, they needed to make Soundwave's chest door be opaque light blue.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just not feeling it. A Perceptor, though.
I don't need to get it.
Yeah, Perceptor, though, still looks good.
Oh, I mean, how many times can you rebuy the same toy, Brian?
I've done that several
Brian,
times.
how many times can you rebuy the same toy?
I did it, like, when we get to what we got this week, I mistakenly did it. Actually, I intentionally did it once and did it by accident a second time. So,
But
stay tuned for that.
What I mean is they seem to reissue these toys every couple years.
Well, they only have certain
it feels a
molds
little less special every time they do it.
There's only certain molds that, one, they have access to, and two, they're going to do. So, like that Trypticon mold they refreshed, I'm certain they probably can still get that out, but they're not going to use that because that would cost too much money.
Right.
And who would carry it?
Yeah. I mean, like the last time they reissued, when they did the Platinum Edition of that, it didn't sell. I mean, they could go back to the well with Devastator, and they probably will.
That sold last time.
It sold
even if they had to pump up to like $85 this time, which I would not be surprised if was the case, like it would still be a good deal for a factory fresh Devastator in a slightly novel deco. I think Takara already did several years ago a cartoon-inspired release of Devastator.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but again, that was several years ago in Japan. So like an $85 set you can get from Walmart, like just walk into one and get it off the shelf ideally. Like that's a great thing for,
That'll probably happen.
That makes me wish there were more viable combiner molds left.
I mean, they could always do Bruticus. Those molds should be able to do one more run. They did. Takara did a Bruticus reissue after all the car robots, Robots in Disguise and Universe versions came out. So like, there's probably at least one more run in those redone molds.
So in 2013, they did the run of the Seacons. That might still exist.
Yeah.
The Predacons probably still exist from when they did the reissue several years back.
Although that has the Trypticon problem of the Platinum Predaking being like a slow seller and like clearance bait when it came out, so that might not have the best.
It might have sold more quickly if they did it in the right colors.
Yeah, that was the one that they made like be gold and stuff, right? And not like accurate to the originals.
Yeah, it was ugly.
Yeah,
I just have to say, no one wants Seacons.
Well, that was going to be my question. That was going to be my question too. The molds for the Seacons might be viable, but who cares?
Other than me.
No,
they want Unicron first.
Yeah. Oh, I get you.
A G1 styled Unicron. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, in this specific context, Diecast, I will grant you Unicron before Seacons.
Yes, and I'm looking at the reaction Unicron, so it did in fact come out before any more recent release of Seacons.
There we go.
That's true. Let's see here. What else? Legacy United Beast Mirage Silverbolt. We have better photos of that. That's actually up for pre-order now, and I pre-ordered it during pre-show.
So did I, and I got Starscream and Waspinator, even though I don't really want Waspinator.
We'll talk about those in a minute.
Yeah, I like this better with the higher resolution photos. Something still looks off about it a little bit, but
the wings are too small.
Yeah. Oh, his wings were epically large in the original toy.
Yeah, I was talking about that last week, I think. The other thing with this is that the wolf shoulders, aka the robot hips, they are not wide enough for the beast mode, and they are not close enough together for the robot mode. They're an in-between state, so they look a little bit wrong in either mode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's some proportional oddness with this, but like, then I look at these pictures and look at the face sculpt and the deco on the face, and it's like, yes, that is Silverbolt from the TV show.
Yeah, and it certainly looks better to me than Tigerhawk did. So, obviously, Tigerhawk is such a bigger toy too. You would think they could get closer, but I don't know where I was going with that. But I like it. It works for me better than Tigerhawk or some of these other toys have. Let's see here. the Dramatic Capture Series Nemesis Bridge Set.
Mhm.
I also pre-ordered this.
Because, of course, you need another Earthrise Megatron.
I have
That
so
is
many.
slightly different from the one that you have.
And I like your point last week that Shockwave is a Voyager-sized toy when he doesn't have the rest of the
Yeah.
junk.
He's
So,
actually a bit of a small Voyager-sized toy when he
Yeah.
doesn't have
yeah,
the add-on parts.
yeah, and I already have
also-
the. Go ahead.
I was going to say, following up from last week's conversation about this, with the better picture, Shockwave is unfortunately not the cartoon purple I was
He is
hoping for. It
not.
is still
No, he-
like very on the dark side.
Yeah, it is. Soundwave, of course. Soundwave being the Netflix Soundwave. I already have it, but like it'll be nice to have another one.
Mhm.
I think it looks pretty good.
At the price this is and the exchange rate right now, this set is actually a really good pickup for people who don't have like 2 out of the 3 of those molds for whatever reason. Like if they never saw an Earthrise Megatron on their local store shelves and didn't bother to order one, if they couldn't get the Netflix Soundwave, that covers a big swath of collectors. Like you get those 3 molds, you get that throne, and it's all for about at the exchange rate what just 3 Voyagers would cost on U.S. store shelves.
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
this is a remarkably good deal thanks to the favorable exchange rate. For people who want to lock that in, there is one way to do that if you order through Amazon Japan, which is to buy gift cards, Amazon Japan gift cards or gift codes, and you can apply those against pre-orders that you placed on Amazon Japan. So you buy the gift codes at a good exchange rate and you lock yourself in at that price.
You mean lock yourself in at what the exchange rate was when you bought the? Because
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like not that the price is going to change, but the exchange rate can go.
Yeah, your
fluctuate,
US
yeah.
dollar price
Yeah.
could change when the exchange rate fluctuates. If the exchange rate flips, if it, goes inside out from where it is right now, like anybody with 150,000 yen pre-order could be kind of in a bad place a few months from now.
Yeah. So right now the U.S. dollar's strong.
Mhm.
The exchange rate is still trending favorable to the U.S. dollar. So I don't even if it slips, I don't think it's going to slip back to like where we were 15 years ago. Like I don't think you have to worry about that.
Or even 5 years ago. It was not great like just a few years ago either. It is the strongest it has been. Rob, I mean, back me up on this. Like, is this not the best exchange rate we have seen since we started mutually importing toys from Japan?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit better now than it was back then, even. Which,
Yeah.
I've been importing toys for
Man.
over 20 years, and it's crazy, and I love it. But yeah, in general, the dollar's strong. Like the price of gold and silver tanked last week. Which is I guess good for the dollar, bad for preppers.
Everybody else?
Yeah. Well, it's with us going to Canada, I went to the bank and got just a little bit of currency converted just for small things, Ubers and cabs and stuff like that. But right now, 137 US buys me 150 in Canadian money. That's not as favorable. And that's why I didn't convert that much, because we don't want to lose our butt on the way back. Because if the exchange rate holds, when we convert back, we're going to lose about 25 cents on every dollar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay.
So, I
It's not
mean,
like you're not doing your life savings. I mean,
yeah. But I'm just saying that's a real world example of, it's good right now, but it may not.
How far off from the border are you going to be? Like a lot of places just take U.S. dollars.
Well, we're going to be on a cruise ship, so we're going to be in Portland, Maine. Then we're going to be in St. John's,
because they take U.S. dollars in Portland, Maine.
right?
And if the cruise ship is sailing out of a U.S. port, I'm sure they will take U.S. currency. I think Don is thinking more for when they disembark the boat.
Right.
And
I'm just giving
local. I know.
I wasn't here last week. I need to give Don some crap because I love Don.
because the plan is for St. John. Just as a slight tangent, the plan is to go to Toys R Us. There's
John
a
was
Toys R.
beatified? Did he die?
There is a Toys R Us about 4 miles from the port that I am planning on being there a week from today. So Wednesday is going to be a Toys R Us, GameStop, because I know a lot of the exclusive. I'm trying to find a Medics is what I'm hoping to find. Because my two Walgreens have literally not changed their toy shelves over in months with anything new. So yeah, that's where I'll be next Wednesday looking for Medics and stuff.
Anyway, this whole thing just stems out of me saying, if you are worried about the exchange rate like going nuts over the next like 5 months, you have a way to back yourself up on Amazon Japan by buying gift codes at the current exchange rate, and then you are not going to get an unfortunate surprise when the charge hits your bank account 5 months from now and the exchange rate is the exact opposite of what it is today.
Yeah. Let's see here. BWVS08, Ghost Starscream, and Haunted Waspinator.
Okay, so last week I was complaining about, we thought from the initial low-res pictures that Waspinator was also in translucent plastic because those were terrible quality pictures. And I was saying, it's a shame that Waspinator is not in opaque plastic just with a Decepticon symbol on the side of the robot head. Guess what? This Waspinator is in opaque plastic with the Decepticon symbol on the side of the robot head. Matt, you want to split a set?
Sure.
Okay, problem solved.
Yeah, I pre-ordered that as well during pre-show.
I'm drinking, thank you.
Yeah. It's nice looking. It'll like that Starscream will turn into like, Megatron, is that you? Here's a hint. Like that's exactly what's going to happen to that toy. But
it'll be glorious. It'll be glorious while it lasts.
Yeah.
So.
Technically, this is the aftermath of that process.
Yeah, but funny enough, it's a cycle, and it'll happen again.
I don't know. All my other Ghost Starscreams are holding up to this day.
So
got
there's
this one
the
and the Combiner Wars one, and the Combiner Wars one.
Okay, so there's the Henkei, there's the G1, and Combiner Wars. Okay.
Yeah, my Unite Warriors one broke.
And a Masterpiece.
There's a master. Oh, I don't have that one.
Did they actually do that in Masterpiece?
Yes, they did.
Yes,
I
those
have that.
Crazy people actually did that.
Yes, I have it.
Did they probably did one in the original Smallest Transformers too, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Oh, I don't have that.
Yeah.
Yes,
and Robot Masters, I'm like 99% sure there is a Robot Masters Ghost Starscream.
But I think the WST Starscreams were an exclusive somewhere.
Probably.
I'm not sure.
I'm checking Mandarake right now. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I mean, there actually are a lot of Ghost Starscream toys.
Yeah, I would like for them to do a new Starscream because that Ghost Starscream was from the first Starscream mold.
Yeah,
which is not the best.
And Masterpiece Rhinox. Did you guys talk about that last week?
We didn't have the good pictures last week.
I see people like doing like Photoshop repaints of this. I don't really know why.
Like, is it just like a problem with the color they picked, or
like the evil Rhinox, not Tankor?
Oh,
like
Dark Designs.
Dark Designs, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Wheeljack64 has been talking over the last week or so, like wanting Dark Designs on the Kingdom mold from Takara.
I'm certain this is gonna suck, but it looks pretty nice, and it gives me hope for a Masterpiece Big Convoy.
I mean, I really like the way this Rhinox looks, but after hearing everything about Black Arachnia, the possible issues with Megatron, it's just
Black Arachnia was great. What was the problem with Black Arachnia?
Well,
the Beast mode, the entire Beast mode.
Yeah, the robot mode's great. The transformation's easy. I think it's one of my favorite Beast Wars. It's my favorite Beast Wars Masterpiece toy, actually.
Well, I heard there was some issues with some of the legs breaking, or that's what I'd heard.
That never happened to me.
But yeah. So I mean, I really want this Rhinox. It's like I have Optimus and Cheetor. I don't really want to do any more Beast Wars masterpieces.
Good news, Don. You can not buy this.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
That's actually allowed.
I probably will get it, even though I've cut way back on what I'm buying, just so that I can have like the maximal bridge crew, I guess. Once we get Rat Trap.
If we get Rat Trap.
We'll get Rat Trap, I think.
Might be a while.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay. Oh, what else? That's a recap from last week. So Mark has behind the scenes looks at Magnus. Do we still love it?
It's interesting. Yeah, it still looks like charcoal. I'm still into that. This sample still looks like charcoal anyway. You know, no telling if the like mass production is going to have quite the same effect on it. He also notes in the Instagram post that like there is a way to assemble the parts to look more like a rock than like a rock car.
Is this Optimus Prime using him as a shield?
Yes.
Is a shield like an alt mode for this?
No, just like the roof of the car comes off as one of the modules, and
Okay.
that's the shield. And I guess you can plug parts around if you want to build it up a little bit. As much as there is, anything official mode-wise in these other than, the vehicle mode and the robot mode, like, it's just however you want to pile all those weapon or chunks together to be something else.
I don't know. I think they peaked with Junkions. I'm not in love with the rock stuff so far.
I love the execution of Junkions in the weaponizer format. Like, that's a great thing for them to do with that format. But like, I still don't feel like anything was quite as good as the original weaponizers. Just in like executing the take apart and put on other toys play pattern.
Yeah, like I don't want to take Junkions apart. I don't want to leave them together.
No.
Maybe mix and match.
You can mix and match,
purposes,
though.
it's fun.
Yeah,
that too.
Let's see here. Super7 Super Cyborg Clear Optimus Prime debuting at New York Comic Con.
I put this in here because it's like a half you thing and a half done thing.
So I saw at McKay's this weekend the Super Cyborg Optimus Prime. It was one of the weird decos of it. And I didn't care for it. I have the Megatron, and I have the one, the pre-Galvatron, where Unicron
the purple scanline one.
Yeah, the scanline ones, and it's gorgeous. I'm just not crazy about that, and I don't think I'm very crazy about this either.
I think this is kind of pretty, at least.
Yeah. And Chris is right. This is definitely for me because I'm a sucker for the translucent plastics and stuff. Heck, there's one of the Super 7 cyborgs on BBTS during their clearance sale right now. So hopefully in 2 to 3 years, if this thing goes clearance, I'll be able to pick one up.
Yeah, I just think they're overpriced.
Yeah, they are way overpriced for what you get.
Yeah. Have to say though, I was at McKay's and I did a large order, which means I took a bunch of crap from my office to sell because I'm trying to get rid of stuff. And I have sold so much stuff recently that I picked out probably 20 things on the shelf that I had brought.
Huh.
And I was just curious what they had priced them at. And sometimes the price was absurd, which is nice because that means sometimes they give me more money than I would expect.
Yeah.
When I sell something. But they've still never sold that Ultimate Galvatron that I sold them. It's still there.
What'd they price that at?
$180, which is like way less than
that
retail.
might be part of the problem, though.
It was like retail's like $300 on it.
Yes, but the interested parties are you and Thylacine 2000.
Yeah, and I decided that I didn't want it anymore.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah. What else do we have? Official transfers.
Does anybody in our audience even know who Thylacine 2000 is? Probably not.
Yeah, some of them do. Harvard graduate. All-around great guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Official Transformers smartphone cases in Japan. What kind of smartphones do they use in Japan? Have they converted over to iPhone?
Yeah, it looks like 2 of these look like iPhones, and I think the shape of the cutout reminds me of Pixel cases, like Pixel 7 cases, but I'm not sure if that's what that is.
I don't know what I think.
I mean, these are very cookie cutter smartphone cases, by which I mean, like, they just are taking, like, whatever art assets they can either get through a licensing package or license themselves from the artists and sticking it on there. It's not like unique art for these instances, but
they have just literally evergreen art stacked on multiple layers on one of them. Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
I mean, like, if you want a Transformers themed case for your smartphone, for your specific model of smartphone, just go on Etsy. You will find endless
Yes.
pages of, things people have made themselves, and instead of giving a corporation the money for it, you can give like an actual like home manufacturer who probably needs the money more, some money for their craft.
So Manicare is saying Pixel phones are strangely popular in Japan. You know, like in the past, people always talked about how smartphones in Japan were light years ahead of the U.S., and now American phones have apparently taken over Japan. That's just weird to me.
Well, Japan kind of ran out of places to go with their smartphones. Like, we just caught up; they couldn't keep ahead.
Yeah.
It's just the technology kind of imploding.
Yeah. The Pixel
Pixels
phones
are great phones, though. I have a 5.
They are great phones. I have owned 2 Pixels. They were fantastic.
Yeah, this is my second Pixel. I wore the battery to death on my Pixel 2. Like, it would not keep a charge off of its cord for more than about 2 hours by the time I had to upgrade to this 5.
Yeah, I had a 1, and as soon as the 2 came out, I got it. Then I changed over to Samsung.
Ah.
Let's see here. Transformers Cross Irregular Choice licensed clothing. Now, is this better than the clothing that we had before? That was just so garish. I don't know, actually.
Better is such a strong and subjective term.
Okay, I'm going to say, God bless you if you wear this. You're a crazy person. So, like, there's a shoe that has, like, Starscream's null rays on it, on the side. There's a pair of, I guess those are, like, boot/pumps that have, like, a gigantic Autobot logo on the back. There's an Optimus Prime purse or lunchbox. I don't know. Then a Soundwave something or other. I love this, actually. Yeah.
I still don't know who this is for, but
I was thinking it's like, other than people who would buy it for the novelty part of their collection, who would wear this stuff?
I'm certain that. So it says it's a bag, so it's like a purse. If that were a lunchbox, I would already have it.
You're not getting the pumps?
I can't do it. I can't wear them.
Yeah, I can't balance in pumps either.
Yeah. Those are pretty crazy.
No, okay, so like the shoes with the null rays, I could see like the right kind of Transformers collector buying those to put on a shelf, like never to wear, but like just that is a weird, crazy novelty kind of thing that I can see being part of someone's like oddities merch collection. What we used to call artifacts back in the early 2000s, that kind of that level of merchandise. Like on that level, I can kind of see this stuff as actual apparel items to wear on your body out in public. No.
So Chris put in the show notes something for me.
Oh yeah.
Transformers
or your
fruit
kids.
Snacks. Yeah, well, both of us.
Yeah.
They are Earthbark fruit snacks, and I've had Transformers fruit snacks in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the manufacturer, so I don't. So I will just say this, and I will fight you to the death if you disagree. Kellogg's and other companies make fruit snacks. The best company who does fruit snacks, Betty Crocker, and they sell
really
licensed fruit snacks like Scooby-Doo and everything.
The
Betty Crocker fruit snacks are amazing.
They're less like gummies than other brands, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fundables, I think they're kind of generic, if I remember right. But like, I'll pick them up for the kids because they like Earthspark.
Fruit snacks.
Blade is saying that they're bad. Okay. Well, I'll still get them for the kids. They don't care.
Yeah.
Test shot leak purportedly depicting Studio Series leader class Bumblebee movie Megatron.
Yeah, remember when Megatron was in the Bumblebee movie?
No.
So
there was concept art for him, though.
There was concept art that existed at one point in the development of the movie. Megatron was going to appear in it, and because they would not at the time commit to Bumblebee being a reboot, they didn't want to have something that conflicted with Megatron also being in the Hoover Dam at the time. So they cut Megatron's appearance from the movie.
I wish they'd left him.
Yeah, that was the most confusing things about the movies after the Bay films, is they didn't know whether to tie it into the continuity or not to.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing that relates to that maybe some people don't remember, Barricade was originally supposed to have like a not small part in the Bumblebee movie, and that was completely cut. Jess Harnell recorded a bunch of dialogue lines for Barricade. Barricade was part of the toy line. Like, the cutting Barricade's part from the movie came late enough that the toys like had to go through anyway. And I mean, being a movie mainline, it doesn't really matter that there wasn't it wasn't exactly accurate to the cast of the movie. But yeah, like for the longest time, we expected Barricade to be in there, and I think that was another victim of like, okay, is this the same continuity or isn't it the same continuity?
We need a streaming service that like shows us alternate cuts of the Bumblebee movie based on what Lorenzo de Bonaventura has said most recently.
You could keep editors and work for a long time just like running that channel.
Mm-hmm. It would be like a video Find Your Fate book, but you couldn't leave your hand on the page to not have to go with that ending. You'd be stuck with that. So that would be it'd be like Clue on meth or something.
So getting back to Megatron, at least looking at the art on the box, I actually really like it.
Oh yeah, no, it's a good design.
I like the toothless expression when he's yelling, and there's just a big gaping black maw.
Okay, so like the design of this Megatron is kind of a fusion of what we had for Megatron as of the last night, also Transformers Prime Megatron and G1 Megatron. If you like combined elements of all three of them, that's basically what this Megatron face and helmet design is.
Yeah, the vehicle mode, the inset art looks awful. Like
that comes from like a one-step changer kind of toy. Like that's.
Oh, so it's okay. Yeah,
it's a reused art asset.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really do like the design of this Megatron. I wish they'd used it.
Well, at least we might get a nice toy of it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I'm all about that. If they wanted to do it, I would consider picking that up. Okay. In-hand images, the Legacy United Windblade.
Okay. I still don't like it.
I mean, it's okay.
Why is that such a tricky design to pull off?
I don't know. Robots in Disguise 2016 did it pretty well.
I mean, I think the robot mode looks fine. Looks okay. That's about as far as I want to go. Not too crazy about the vehicle mode.
The thing
Oh, go ahead, Don.
Sorry. The thing that's always bugged me is I know she's a jet, but it seems like we've seen some really intricate jet transformations.
Thank you.
But they can never seem to do anything with her hands other than stick them by the side. We've seen like the Robot Masters with the Starscreams and them. They would fold up and then fold into the middle of the body. Well, it just seems like there should be something you could do on her than just having them by the side. At least Leader One even had his covered, and that was
okay. Okay, so designing in covers like apart from the arms that could hide the fists, that would be one way to go. But like to do the Starscream thing, Starscream can do that because of the big boxy forearms. Windblade is supposed to have a more slender proportion, so there's not really room to like fold the hands away the same way.
I'm just saying we've seen plain Transformers get away with not having too much visible stuff through the years. It just seems like she doesn't. Her design, her transformation never improves other than hands down, nose cone up, and there you go.
Yeah, I think like to have an idealized Windblade toy that hits all the positive notes of the different incarnations, including like Sarah PD's comic book art of Windblade, which for a lot of people that's the definitive Windblade. You would need to do the hot rod small Voyager thing to have the parts count and engineering in a toy that still fits basically the right size, the right scaling with the toys it's supposed to go with. I don't think at a deluxe level at this point you're going to get a jet transformer that can look like Windblade, but also have enough transformation engineering to hide everything and have everything be streamlined in both modes the way that everybody really wants it to be.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be happy if her in looking at the jet mode picture, if her jet mode, if the blue where the blue and the hand is at, if that would come back on itself 180 and then tuck up under the wing in like a cutout under the wing, something just so it's not just no, I'm not a jet. You can't. No, I'm not a jet at all. No, not at all. You know, it always bugs me on Windblades. They just can't seem to do anything than just slap her arms by the side.
The thing that bugs me about this Windblade in particular, not to do with the transformation exactly, is like the facing surface of the wings in robot mode is the hollow gappy side, and like the other Windblade toys don't have that. They have, thin panel wings where there's not hollow sides. Like it's thin enough that it is all just one flat panel. And like I hate that this is thickened. They've thickened the wings up and had to put those hollow spaces in, and it makes the robot mode look terrible. At the same time, like I understand they don't want to have those facing up for the jet mode because that would look just as bad in a different way. But like they did something wrong by having the wing thickness be what it is, where they didn't get the opportunity to have it just be a smooth panel on both sides. Like that is just a design misstep in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't have strong feelings about it. I like this. This is what I would consider skipping.
I have two different versions of the Robots in Disguise Warrior class toy, and like that's basically what I'm like between that and the Titans Return one. Like those are very different interpretations. I like both of those a lot, and this has not convinced me to replace either one of them.
Yeah. Let's see what else. What else do we have going on? Last item: Porsche will sell you a 1/43 model Rise of the Beasts Mirage for €65, but only if you speak German. Why is it only if you speak German?
I tried to find an English version of the product page, and there does not seem to be one.
And your browser wouldn't translate it?
I mean, the browser might, but that doesn't change that Porsche's website is only offering this page in German.
Oh, okay. Add to cart, free shipping. I bet it's not free shipping to me.
Probably not.
I don't want to spend €65 on this.
No, 1/43rd scale is kind of on the small side. No, it's like a third bigger than Hot Wheels. Yeah. It is not very big. It's not Matchbox small, but it is not very big. It is smaller than a deluxe Transformer car mode.
Yeah, I'll skip.
Those tend to be 1/36 to 1/38 scale nowadays. 1/43rd. If you've seen like the little racks hanging on like grocery store aisles that have the little
yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Cars,
yeah,
they are probably this is probably around that size. It might actually be a little bit smaller than that, but it'd be closer to that than anything else. Any other example I can come up with right now.
Totally buy that. Okay, cool. Okay, let's jump to what we got this week. Don, did you get anything?
Yeah, I did. I'll go quick. Ham sandwiches. I got the Masters of the Universe set from Amazon. I've wanted to watch that from start to finish one time, and
it's on Netflix.
Yeah, physical media. It was a good deal. Picked up X-Men 97 Road to go with my Gambit.
Why'd you buy Gambit again?
I like Gambit. I don't care anything but other than outside the 97 series, I could care less. I just like Gambit. I think he looks cool and I love his powers. It's a weird thing for me.
Okay.
Related, kind of. Thanks to our friend Triplet, I was able to finally pick up the Walmart exclusive Big Ben, which has been very elusive to get. So thanks to Triplet, I was able to monitor the web page for about 2 weeks, and I finally caught it in stock. That wasn't a third-party seller. I've also got Tiger Force Flint came today from Target, so I've got that, which means I'll have to get the Night Force version. I got the Steel Core Troopers in yesterday. Went ahead and picked those up. Last two things I got. Well, I would have had another Crimson Bat from the Amazon sale, but they sent me Stalker. So that is en route.
Which you already have.
Which I already have. So that is en route back. Well, he was part of the same sale, so I'm guessing they would just grab the wrong one from the pile or whatever.
Come on now, everyone needs another Stalker.
What everyone doesn't need, and I still bought it anyway because I have weird ideas in my head. I have my fourth Maverick.
I got rid of the only one I owned
because it was half off, more than half off at Walmart.
It still doesn't explain why you spent any money on it.
Yeah, it was down to $20 yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why I got it. And I figured I'm going to get a flight stand, and Maverick is Christy's one of her favorite movies, that and Top Gun. So I think I'm going to get a flight stand for this one, or one of the ones, and put it in her office so she's got like the Maverick plane in there. That's one of her favorite movies.
You know, there's like all kinds of other models of an F-14 that you could have bought for her instead of
this one. Comes
Maverick.
with a volleyball.
No, that's not the volleyball one.
Is it not?
This is the re-release.
Yeah, that's the one with the motorcycle, I believe. So it
came in the same package.
Yeah, same package. They just changed the volleyball to Maverick on the motorcycle.
I assumed that was like Ectotron, where they did the reissue in a separate package.
I think there is packaging differences between.
Yeah, it's much smaller packaging. Yeah.
Okay.
And the last thing I got is something I've been looking for and had not found at all. Mainline Voyager Optimus Primal.
Where did you get it?
Walmart, of all places, at regular retail.
How?
I was just looking. We were doing a grocery order list for the cruise, and I was just seeing what they had for Transformers while I was making a list, and it was there in the list. And I was shocked because this thing is sold out everywhere. I posted the link on Twitter for everybody to try to get one. People like Paladin was getting $55. There was no Walmart price. And I was talking to my friend, both Paladin and Icon45 on Twitter. It must be based on a regional availability. We're not sure.
Did it come from your local store?
No. The local Walmart, this came from somewhere in Carolina. I'd have to look at the tracking, but it's probably not too far from around you, Brian. But the originating location was in North Carolina. So this is completely out of the blue. I mean, I didn't check Walmart because it's Walmart. All they've had is a few Primes and an absolute buttload of Rhinoxes.
You know, I have a Walmart Internet Fulfillment Center 2 miles from my house. Do you think that means I get my stuff any quicker from Walmart.com?
No,
probably
no.
If you get it at all,
yeah.
So I've finally got mainline Primal. And it was just an absolute shock to see it in stock at Walmart without being a third-party seller.
Good catch.
Yeah, awesome. I'm not too crazy about the toy. I got mine from Amazon Japan, but yeah. Cool. Anything else, Don?
No, that's it.
Matt?
Oh, yes. One last thing.
Okay.
Sorry, one last ham sandwich. I got Lisa Mazza from the NECA Gargoyles line. She's upstairs. She came today. I forgot to bring her down.
Okay.
You know, you don't have to say every ham sandwich you get. I don't do every ham sandwich I get.
This is important. This is his important ham sandwiches, though. It's the ones with wings.
Like I don't even.
It's the ham sandwiches that turn to stone during the day.
I don't even talk about the GI Joe figures I got. I just like skip them. Okay. But I do love them. Matt.
All right. So from Hasbro Pulse, I got the 3 troop builder packs that I ordered. So. That
awesome.
Brings the total up to 5. I have 5 of everything now. I think I'm going to stop there for a while until, eventually they go on deep discount somewhere. I'll probably do something stupid. But
you might end up with a seeker and a bailiff in the meantime, though.
well, yeah, that's fine. Like
Yeah.
I need at least 6 seekers because seekers go in groups of 3. That's like
Oh yes.
The only other thing I picked up a Marvel Legend because Ollie's got in a lot of stuff, and I had a 30% off one purchase coupon. So, I mean, I was not interested in a lot of the stuff they got. They got like Eternals Wave, Doctor Strange Wave, a lot of MCU stuff, X-Men Age of Apocalypse, a lot of stuff that was not super popular. But I did find one figure that I was absolutely not willing to pay full retail price. It was marked down to $10, and with the 30% off, it marked it down to like $7.41 or 49 cents, something like that. Just under $7.50, and that was still too much money to spend on a speedball. So I bought Maggot from the X-Men.
Funny.
Just had to get that Dig It Dawn in there.
Yeah, that still makes me mad that he has no accessories except the bath part, and it's like you couldn't give him even the Doctor Strange magic wooby dooby thingy.
Magic wooby dooby thingy.
Okay.
I know exactly what Don's talking about. Just his, Virginia terminology is always a delight.
That's not Virginia. That's me.
Yeah.
That's trademark Don.
Don's originally from North Carolina, so it's a North Carolina thing.
At this point, I don't really lay claim to that.
Okay. So, anything else, Matt?
No, that was it.
Diecast, you get anything this past week?
I did get one thing in before I left, and it was the Takara Tomy 2-pack of Megatron and Optimus Primal, the Beast Wars.
Oh, yeah.
And that Megatron is purdy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Other than that, no. I did check my Walmart.com as Don was talking, and Optimus Primal was showing up on mine for like $35 too, and I think that's still too much to pay for it.
I mean, I paid like $50 shipped for it, so I can't complain. $35, I think that's worth it.
You can complain about anything you set your mind to, Brian.
Yeah. I got the leader, and I have the Takara one. So I'm like, how many Optimus Primals do I need from the same movie?
Yeah, you don't. Cool. Chris, what about you?
Yes. Okay. So, oh boy, I actually made a list so I wouldn't forget anything.
I've been doing that too.
Yeah. All right. So, we're gonna go mostly ham sandwiches first. Thanks to Rob, who sent me a nice box of things. I have a copy of The Men Who Created Gundam, which is the official English release of Gundam Sosei, the definitely completely true and factual documentary manga about how the original Mobile Suit Gundam came to be. This was originally serialized starting in 2009, and Rob and I both immediately took to it as the fan translations became available back then. There's enough of the truth represented in a really entertaining way that you actually can learn about the production of an anime that the executives had no confidence in and the sponsors just wanted to use to sell goofy toys with. But that is a big, thick compendium book, and I read the prologue already where Tomino punches Torufuria, and yes, I've returned. This is wonderful. Such good memories of that. I don't even think I got to finish the fan translations because they had slacked off for months, and I think I kind of just forgot about it. So as I get back into that, I should be seeing some of this stuff for the first time, which will be really cool.
I pulled a diecast on that back when it came out last year. I pre-ordered it on Amazon, pre-ordered it from Walmart. Forgot I did that, and then Denpa Books actually sold me a copy directly on Twitter, and so I wound up with 2.
Well, your loss is my gain?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Also in Ham Sandwich Land, Rob passed along several G-Frame Gundam sets from his recent acquisitions. 4 of them in total, including the very, very nice-looking Rick Diaz.
It really does look nice.
Briefly in on-topic territory, because it came in the same box, I have the Kingdom Megatron from Rob's Versus set that he talked about last week and that Diecast just mentioned. Indeed, it is extremely pretty. I don't think we're ever going to see this mold look closer to the show than it does here, even though this is still not a perfect representation. The biggest issue I have with it is that while the striping on the Beast mode has the right idea, the difference in the colors, the difference in the shades of purple is a little too stark, so it actually does look like defined stripe patterns, where in the show it's usually it comes across like more subtle gradation than like hard edge stripes. Like I think they had the purple shades a little too far apart here to get it exactly right, but like you could tell they had the right idea. If they just would have like taken a second look at the deco versus what was on TV, I think we could have got something almost perfect. The robot mode is such an improvement over the Kingdom release, though. Like, I don't even know what the deco artist was thinking with that original Hasbro release. This is just so much better. But yeah, this fits together about as well as my original Kingdom Megatron, which is to say, like, not that great, but you know, the trick they did having the like soft plastic skin all over the outside, like we always knew that was going to be a problem no matter what they did with the mold. So I still think the best looking version of this mold though is the one from the first Jurassic Park collaboration. Like that was just a really good, like realistic and kind of subtle deco on the dinosaur part. I really like the way that one looks. But for a representation of Beast Wars Megatron, I don't expect to get anything ever any better than this. So Ross has not been giving me much interesting in terms of like markdown Transformers. But on my trip there a few days ago, I did spot one of those small Mega Construx Halo exosuits. So this was the Breacher variant, which is the red one that has the shield you can build for it. This isn't my favorite design. The blue Skyfire armor is what I think is the best overall. But for just $4, I wasn't going to pass it up. Oh, right. And they had a Lightning Collection cog for, what, like $6, I think? And
Nice.
that turned out well for me because I've been wanting to get at least one cog anyway for the longest time. I just didn't want to pay $27 for one. So I haven't opened that, but just through the package, I can see that they sculpted some of the body mass with like vague detailing on the inner surfaces of the parts and then cast those parts in translucent. So like you kind of get the effect of seeing the mechanical details showing through from the inside, which evokes the visual effect they put on the cogs in the show when they would get beat up and you would see like their framework glowing through their outer covering. I have to assume that was intentional with using the translucent parts like that, and like that's a really cool way to go with that, and especially to differentiate them from the original 2-pack release of the cogs.
Yeah, that's back when I had any hopes that the Lightning Collection would be good.
See, like there's some Lightning Collection stuff that I'm happy to have if I'm not planning to like open it and use it as an action figure in any meaningful way. Also, speaking of Lightning Collection, Matt a while back got me an iGuy at Ollie's, and he sent that out to me last week. And that is a surprisingly big and heavy figure. Like when I picked that box up and I was like, did he put something else in here and not tell me? But no, it was just iGuy weighing about 4 pounds.
What is iGuy?
It's a monster from the first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It is very much, as the name would suggest,
composed of eyeballs.
Form. Yeah, it's composed entirely of eyeballs.
And it's mildly disturbing.
Yeah, if you have a problem looking directly at eyeballs, this is very, very bad for you. If you don't like making eye contact with people, I would not recommend this toy. Yeah, it's very big, very heavy, but wow, does it need some paint. Whenever I next get a chance to go visit Hey Mickey, this is probably going to come with me, and I'm going to let him loose on it to see what he can do to like bring out the sculpting detail and just dress it up a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely needs a paint wash, but the sculpting on it is on point. Like it is great.
I think Mickey will probably have fun if I just like turn him loose on that and say like, make this pretty. Like I think that is the kind of thing that it'll get his gears turning. I think I will come home with something really nice. But again, thank you for picking that up for me. To wrap up the Power Rangers layer of the ham sandwich, I got the Ultimates Tyrannosaurus Dinozord from Amazon yesterday. It was marked down to about $26 through Amazon's Amazon Days sale or whatever. That's less than half SRP. This is also an impressively large and dense figure. It probably is definitely heavier than iGuy. I haven't opened it yet either, but like the sculpting looks fantastic. The paint on it looks wonderful. Like it's amazing to look at like Ninja Turtles Ultimates and like this Ultimates Dinozord, and then think about Transformers Ultimates, and it's just like, guys, what happened? You can do this. Why did you do this? But yeah, it looks fantastic. I'm really happy to have one finally, and especially for less than half price. So getting to on topic now, I built some more troops with help from Josh Wheeljack64 and Blade Raider. So I'm currently up to 3 each of Auto Troopers and G2 Troopers. Hopefully I will be able to add some more Auto Troopers to this, and I do have one more G2 Trooper in progress right now, just kind of waiting on that to finalize. I think I'm going to stop at 4 G2 Troopers, though. I think that's enough of a group to flank G-Axis with. Like, I like that mold in that application, but I don't need that many of them. Auto Troopers, though, are one of my special interests, so I'm definitely going to get as many of those as I can at reasonable prices. Just, help me when these sets go on discount, because I'm bound to make some dumb decisions. Today I stopped by Walmart when I was out doing another Ross run, which did not produce anything itself. But I found Strong Arm and Shadow Striker, amazingly enough.
Oh, nice.
Bombshell was already gone, which didn't surprise me. Oddly enough, Detritus was gone, though, already. So they had both Strong Arms and both Shadow Strikers from the case, but Bombshell and Detritus were both just not to be seen. Like, Detritus, I could kind of see there being interest because it's the first availability of the Earth Mode Hound tooling, but I wouldn't have expected that to go before the really majorly new toys. So I messed with both toys a little bit during pre-show and a little bit of show. Strong Arm is a pretty heavy retool off of Elita 1. The transformation does not run as smoothly as on Elita 1 or Minerva. There's a lot more parts flanking the upper body that you have to mess around with, a lot more angled hinges. They have to go the right way, and they fight a little bit to get into those positions. The legs are the only thing that works the same way. And it's a little bit of a difficult process. It'll probably ease out a little bit as you do it and the joints break in and everything. The robot mode, the shoulder pieces, the pieces of the fenders that hang over the shoulders, I know they were going for the silhouette of Robots in Disguise Strong Arm, and that kind of works for that. It does impinge on the articulation, the posability of the arms a little bit. They can flip out to the sides somewhat to make room for the arms to move outward, but it's really inelegant, and I wish there had been more they could have done to make that integrate into that area more organically, more smoothly. The vehicle mode, it is silly, this tiny little deluxe truck. The original Robots in Disguise Strong Arm worked as a deluxe size toy with that truck alt mode because it was just a big box that you built around the robot. This does not really have that benefit. The volume is just too close into the body. Strong Arm is another one. I was talking about Windblade earlier, it needs to really be a small Voyager to get the engineering right and to get the proportions and look the way it should be. The head, I remember talking about it when we saw the stock photos. The head looks too big in proportion to the body. That's not as much of a thing in person. It does still have 100% too much nose. But yeah, I would still like the head to be a tiny bit smaller, but the deco on that face sculpt is it's wonderful. There is so much paint on there, and both copies I looked at, it was very, very clean, the application. So hopefully that's the norm for this, and I did not just see 2 exceptional copies. But they got that part dead on. The deco on the face and the helmet is perfect. It's just kind of the rest of it that suffers a little bit for how they had to make the toy. Shadow Striker is a whole different thing. That transformation is not very fun at all, which is, I mean, it's appropriate because this is going to be Robots in Disguise Sideburn next year, and that toy was also not all that fun to transform. So they captured the spirit of that original mold quite well. The robot mode proportions are a little bit weird, but like that's because primarily this is 90% Sideburn and 10% Shadow Striker. So like they are matching what Sideburn looked like. So like the hips are set a little bit wide. The one neat thing about how they designed the robot mode is that the door panels fold onto the back and basically look like a cape, which is not exactly accurate to how Sideburn's kibble worked, but it's a really cool look for the toy. The transformation, you can do the entire transformation leaving the roof shield piece off. Like, you can't turn it into a convertible because there's no windshield and there's no interior, but like, it can actually be helpful to not have that thing hanging on there while you're trying to line everything up. But like, the way the panels have to kind of force together in some places, it's a little uncomfortable to do. There's stress marks on one of the flanges. And like, yeah, it really feels like a Sideburn in spirit just because like it's not the easiest thing to transform. It's not the most fun thing to transform. Once you get it there, it basically holds together. The roof doesn't really have a way to like snap down hard against the rest of the car body. And there is a weird gap between the back of the roof panel and the separate bumper piece that you have to plug on, which it looks like those pieces should fit together some way, but I cannot see any way to get like the edge of one over the edge of the other one. So like, I have to assume when this is Sideburn next year, the roof piece is probably going to be different and it's going to like integrate better with all of that. And right now this toy is just suffering a little bit for being Shadow Striker specifically, which really bugs me because even now I would say there is not a good toy representation of Cyberverse Shadow Striker, a very prominent character in that cartoon. You know, even in the Cyberverse toy line, there was just the like action feature ones, which did not depict Shadow Striker as she really appeared in the show in the like patchwork form.
Hey, Chris, on your Shadow Striker, the arms are supposed to peg to the inside of the car mode. Did you have any difficulty getting those arms to peg in? Because I kind of had to just use the roof and just press everything down to get it to lock into place. I couldn't get the stuff to peg in properly in car mode.
The arms peg in car mode?
If I'm not misremembering, there's small little tabs and small slots.
Oh yeah, I can see the tabs and the slots. No, I don't think those really engage. Like I'm pressing down and the arm is just bouncing back.
Yeah, that's the same problem because they're supposed to lock into place in the middle of the car mode, and then you put the roof on top where roofs are supposed to go. But you kind of have to use the roof to hold the arms down to get the car mode to look right.
So I don't need the roof to hold the arms down like that. They stay pretty close to the profile of the car, but they don't lock in any meaningful way. And like, the little bit the roof does lock into place on the car, which I think is just in the front along the windshield, that pretty much is enough then to just stabilize the whole thing. This sounds like there might be individual variation with the tolerances, like how the joints fit. But yeah, like the arms will not lock into those tabs. They just bounce back out, which I've had a lot of other toys do that too. It might be a slight alignment problem, or the tabs or the slots might be slightly off size from each other.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of those. Your mileage may vary based on manufacturing tolerances, but I'm holding up the figure right now to sort of show you what you were talking about with the cape and everything. It's not it's not his look, but it's a lot better than having that much crap hanging off the body.
I mean, I can certainly see where they took inspiration from the original Sideburn toy, because on the original toy, you had chunks of the car's hood hanging off the back. It was not a clean cape like that. Like they definitely like improved on that aspect of the visual design language. but like I can see where they took from to get what they have here, even though they got it from a different part of the car. Like there's good engineering ideas in this, I think, but like some of the tolerances and just the like actual executions of it are not really holding up. But to Don's point about the arms popping up, like I have the roof tabbed on right now, and like I'm not seeing any more like how it could go against the car body any further than it is, and it's not being like pushed out that I can notice either. So it seems like even if those forearms won't quite tab in securely, they don't necessarily make like a big problem for the car mode that way. I didn't even realize that was a thing that was supposed to happen until Don started mentioning it.
Yeah, it's just I'm really looking forward to getting this as Sideburn. It's just I'm also hoping some of these little things are fixed, which they probably won't be, because if it's a manufacturing tolerance issue, it could be as bad or worse on the second or third run by the time that the car is done getting their Shadow Strikers, and then it rolls over until whatever version of Sideburn.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Then the last thing I got was at the Walmart in the next town. I didn't find anything new there, but they did have a retro Starscream marked down to $10. So
Nice.
I finally own a copy of the
Pretty
G1
nice.
Secret for the first time in my life.
I'm sorry.
I bought that just this afternoon and did not have time to mess with it before the show, unfortunately, so I still cannot tell you what my thoughts are in handling the G1 Secret mold for the first time in my life.
There's a lot of charm to that mold, but again,
It has a good personality. Is that what you're saying, Don?
yeah, but I'm saying when I was having been there when it came out, I'm probably a little biased. I mean, I know why a lot of people don't like it, but in those colors, it really helps a lot on that mold, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the retro Seekers all look super pretty. They just still are that mold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's it for me.
Yeah, that's a mold that I own too many times over. Like you would, it's a shame that your first instance of it isn't in its original G2 form.
In the original Klingon?
Yeah. Cool. Okay. I'll just run through what I got quickly. Most of it's not been open. I found at Target Detritus. Not opened it. Strong Arm.
Not opened it.
Shadow Striker.
Not open.
Found at Target. Trash Master. I don't know why I couldn't remember his name. Not opened. Also found at Target. Ordered from GameStop because they didn't have him at Target. Bombshell.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Shame you couldn't have found him last week during the sale, Brian.
I don't care. I mean, it was retail. I was happy to get it. Some stickers from Dollar Tree. They're velvet or felt? Velvet. 50 velvet stickers.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. Whenever Kim goes to Dollar Tree and she sees Transformer stuff, she buys it for me.
Nice.
50 Shades of Velvet.
I don't
Yeah,
think that
so
quite works.
I want to make sure I got the name right. Armada Universe Power Links Hotshot.
Ah.
Again, haven't opened it.
I'm waiting for Black Friday for that, maybe.
Yep.
Studio Series Brawn.
Ah.
Oh, he's so good.
You'll probably like that when you get around to opening it.
I think so. 2 of the Troop Builders multi-packs.
Good.
Sunk Cost MPGO5.
Phazon.
Yeah. And a couple more things. Beast Wars Second Max B.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
I've wanted one of those for the longest time.
yeah. So I thought that I had Hellscream. Turns out I don't have Hellscream. But I bought Hellscream yesterday, so I should have it soon.
You have Dirge Gun?
I have Dirge Gun, definitely. And I'm pretty sure I got Thrust. So John had them for sale.
Okay.
And he reached out to me first because he knows that I'm looking for Beast Wars Neo and
Mhm.
second stuff. And I'm like,
Mhm.
the ones that I know for sure that I don't have is Max B. He had Thrust, he had Hellscream and everything. And I'm going through my stuff, and I cannot find Hellscream. So I'm like, I know I don't have it now. So I bought that from John on his eBay.
Hmm.
And I'm virtually certain I've got Thrust. I just need to dig it out.
Mhm.
But my Dirge gun does not have the box, so that might be an
Ah.
issue long term. Beast Wars Black Arachnia. Geez, the card's been open.
Okay.
But I mean, it's otherwise pristine. It's beautiful. So I didn't
Mhm.
have Black Arachnia. And something that I said that I was going to start collecting. An Estrella Yellow Wind Charger.
Ooh,
Cool, nice.
excellent.
You remember how I
It
said though?
begins.
Nope. Remember how I said that like a couple things I bought two of, and one thing I bought something I had and didn't know. I already have it in yellow. I have it in yellow and blue.
Oh no.
So I already had some of the mini bots, the South American mini bots, and this just
We
happened
could
to be
probably work something out, Brian.
okay. Let's talk about it. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, like this one I might keep it and open it. I don't know. I'm not certain what I'm going to do with it yet. But yeah. So, but I am on the lookout for these. I just don't want to spend too much money on them.
Right.
So are those your new St. Louis McDonald's figures?
That's exactly right. So that's my.
Well, you can probably sell your extras now to pay for those.
I don't actually have any extras anymore, unless you count loose ones that I also have bagged. I do have duplicates if you look at them that way, but I parted with the ones that I had multiples of. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that's what I got this week. So, let's see here again. Though we do have a contest where you can get a Dead End Toxitron collection. Just shoot us a note. Contact tfradio.net. Let us know where you're listening from. Again, I won't put it on the list or anything. Just curious where people are. Okay. We'll give it away on RFC live stream of RFC 854, which will be the 25th. Of course, though, I want to thank our patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. Patreon get an ad-free version of the show, get the podcast a day early, higher bit rate, weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast, which I have not posted for the last couple weeks because I haven't had time, and I need to catch up this weekend. Unedited episodes of RSC if I edit it for content, not to clean up just general quality of life stuff. But if Don drops heavy swears or something, that will make the version of the show. Hot patrons at the touch tier get to be on the show. Hot 5 with Rob, and all patrons though get the Hot 5 when I post it a week early. Patrons at the touch tier also get to be listed at tfradio.net/credits, and I will mention those folks also. Benefit is you get to be mentioned on the show each week if you're a patron at the touch tier. So, I want to thank Kevin Dorsey, AJ, Eric Griffin, Tyrell Gwynn, Rick Mahurin, Ryan Bona, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Ness, Joey Russell, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Jay Klein Rye, Jake and Owen Lucia, Sean Bratton, Jason Hiley, TJ Petrucci, Hyper Shouta, and Brock Brand. Thank you all so much. You're awesome. You're going to be mentioned on the show. Get to be listed at tfradio.net/credits and be on History on the 5. Just go to patreon.com/tfradio and sign up for the touch tier, but we appreciate all our patrons. Let's see here. Diecast, did he drop?
He apparently did.
Diecast can be found at Diecast2 on Twitter and on Blue Sky, and at tfradio.net/reviews. Let's see here. John DeLuna not here. He's at that John D everywhere. Rob Springer not here. He's at Robo Rob Springer on Twitter. Donald, how do people get a hold of you?
People can get a hold of me on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. And just as a reminder, I will not be here next week. I will be in Canada. And depending on how the cell phone service goes, I will be tweeting from the Toys R Us on a toy crawl.
Cool. Did you buy your Canadian phone? It won't work if you
Cool.
don't have a Canadian phone.
According to Verizon, my phone and my plan should work just fine
Okay.
in Canada.
Okay.
Oh, you got the Maple package?
Well, yeah, I had to upgrade and get the one that included the syrup. So, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, Chris.
I won't be in Canada, so my phone doesn't smell like maple. You can find me on social media at ChrisRTXV on Mastodon.social or on Blue Sky. The things I've done on the internet are collected at playwithphotography.com. I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/ChrisList if you want to just do material kindness at me. And otherwise, find me in our Discord at tfradio.net/Discord. We haven't really given them enough shout outs this week, but as usual, our Discord is pretty awesome. Great group of regulars in there. I highly encourage everyone to come and check us out, hang out with us. You don't have to install anything. It'll just run in your browser if you want. Experience is better with the desktop app, but it will just run in your browser if that's what you're more comfortable with.
I use it. I do both. One browser on this PC, app on the other, and I think I like it better in the browser.
I mean, I've got the discrete version installed on my computer, and I've got the app on my phone just because. No, I think I like the app better, the desktop app better. It's the best experience in my opinion. But whatever method you use to come and join us, come hang out with us. It's a great place to just talk about general nerdery. We have different channels for different purposes. We've got one specific Star Trek channel that we post a lot of gag images in, and occasionally actually talk about Star Trek in. Brian, have you been watching Lower Decks?
I am behind. I watched the first 2 episodes, which was the debut week. Should I catch up right now?
I would definitely watch last week's episode if you're only going to watch one episode anytime soon. I don't think this season has been as strong all the way through as the previous couple seasons were. But the debut week and last week were really, really good. And the weeks in between were not bad, but they just were not quite up to what I'd come to expect from Lower Decks. But catch up to last week if you haven't.
Okay. I'll do that. Cool.
Yeah.
Rob.
I'm on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. And I'm on YouTube as Flailthroughs, where I'm mostly covering Gundam Battle Operation 2 still. And I have a Patreon for that if you want to make specific requests. Patreon.com/Flailthroughs. You can request mobile suits with specific color schemes, weapons, etc. And if you'd rather just, send me a thing, tfradio.net/playlist.
Very cool. Matt.
At melvar.bsky.social. That's with 3 L's and 2 R's.
Awesome. Cool. Hey, well, I survived the show. So
Nice.
hopefully in the morning I won't wake up hacking myself to death. Fingers crossed. So I'm hoping that the show gets posted on Thursday. If not, goodness knows when it'll happen. We'll see next week. Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Take care, all. See y'all in 2 weeks.
Have a happy day.
Recording stopped.
Okay.
I was not quite so lucky to not wake up with hacking, but these things happen sometimes.
I've just been really low energy today. I don't know if it's the COVID booster or just general depression, but
Por qué no los dos?
Exactly.
yeah.
Do you need my audio this week, Brian?
Probably. I'll
Okay.
post it today. If you can give it to me tomorrow, that's fine.
Yeah, I will upload overnight.
Hey,
Email
people watching
to you in the
live,
morning.
I am going to kill the stream because I do feel like crap. So we will see you next week. Twitch, you're going first. Bye, Twitch. And YouTube, you'll go as soon as I am able to press this button on the dashboard. End stream.